And hello there. There's quite a few poems in this one because it was my shortest book. But here we are. The first one had 14 poems too, but I think a lot of those poems were about a page. But these ones are not. They're genuinely short. But this is me again with Kevin, fourth book in my I See Things in Blue series, and this is book number four. Did I just say fourth book in my I See Things in Blue series? Can't remember. But here we are. This one is called Happiness is Home. And again, just like futile. And I feel like all I do is dream. And what else? Futile. Untitled. And it was futile. I feel like all I do is dream. Yeah. So just like futile and untitled. This is again in that same round. I picked a few of these for Kevin, which is so odd because they're definitely the opposite of what Kevin is. And so I had to be reaching for the Dario angle. And I'm going to put these in here. Like Kevin was hard. Raylan was hard too. Here we are. I'm not really going to say much until after this one. This one is called again, if I haven't said it yet, Happiness is Home. In my heart, there was a place where happiness dwells, locked away by pain and jealousy. Love holds the key, but is nowhere to be found, and heartache is the foundation this room is on. The rooms of my heart are fortified with walls of hatred, and hope is busy trying to find love in rooms filled with depression. And faith is lost, just roaming the halls in darkness, 'cause happiness is the light. So I'll never be happy as long as love is lost. I don't even think I need to say it really, but I'm gonna say it. Is that this one is about lost love. I love being lost. So not necessarily having it and then losing it. It's not like lost love. It's love that's just not there. It just hasn't been found yet. It's literally lost out there, and Dario is trying to find it. But love is the key. Love holds the key, but it's nowhere to be found. It's the third line. And that was intentional in my heart. There was a place where happiness dwells. And the last line says, so I'll never be happy as long as love is lost. Because happiness is locked away by pain and jealousy. Love holds the key is nowhere to be found. The room, the foundation that the room is sturdy standing on, is built on heartache. And then the walls are fortified with hatred. And so this is very kind of, this idea just came to me, but it's definite. I was going to say escape room, but it's literally building a room. And if I was going to build a room that I was locked outside of, and I was using depressive words to define everything, how would I do that? So pain and jealousy is, guarding the door that I'm outside of. And so now that I've got my guards, what else is happening? Well, even if the guards aren't there, how do I get in? I need a key. Love is the key. But why is happiness unable to get out on its own? Well, because heartache is the foundation. The walls are fortified with hatred, and hope is trying to find love in all of the other rooms, so that because I've got this hope, I can get it in this room. But I have to find love, and that's what the hope is. The hope is that I'll find it. And that's Dario's existence. The hope is that he'll find it. And so he's looking in all the other rooms that are filled with depression and all these other things that his life is filled with. And he's just not being able to find it. And faith, again, is also lost in the holes because happiness is the light and happiness is what's locked away. So faith is struggling in the darkness while hope is looking in all the rooms, and neither of them can find love because love is legitimately lost. And so here we are. And that again speaks to the exact same thing that I've said before, is that if he doesn't embrace himself for who he is, he will always, the one thing that he's looking for, which is love again, will always be lost. He'll never find it because it dwells in a space that he's afraid to deal with, because he thinks that particular space, it's the one thing that would destroy the love of his parents forever, love from his parents forever. But he doesn't already have it anyway. So there is nothing to destroy and nothing really to lose by being himself, because the one thing he desires, he doesn't have anyway. But, you know, in life, we can't go blindly into things thinking on misconceptions of what the world tells us we should be and how we should think and how we should live our life. And we take that on and it becomes a part of it, part of us, just weaved into our own existence. And once it's that solidly within you, it becomes increasingly more difficult to let, like in the last poem, to let that dream go, like in Fruitile. You start to believe it and you want it so badly that you're willing to risk the person you actually are to get it. And societal norms do that to us. They do that. But at some point, I guess you kind of have to let go and just breathe in the person that you really are. My phone is buzzing, which means my mom's probably on her way home, so from church. So who knows how this is going to work out at this point, because I'm literally only on cabin. But since the actual host phone is probably about to read, you know what? No, let me pause it. So yeah, she's on her way home. But back to the point. Yeah, sometimes life gets us like this. I don't know if this matches where I walked away. Don't care. But sometimes life gets you to the point where you're so lost in the lie, trying to perpetuate or put forth the person that everyone tells you you should be, but you know that's not to you. That you do for real, lose yourself. Losing yourself inside yourself is a thing. And that's what Dario is. And this poem definitely speaks to that in a million and one ways. And I had to, sometimes you do have to think about it while you're writing it. Because when I got to the end, even now, it says so, I'll never be happy as long as love is lost. I always reread the first two lines, well, three lines, to make sure that happiness and lost love makes sense. Because for some strange reason, I always forget that love holds the key and that happiness is locked inside the place. And I have a poem titled God's Flight, where I think the beginning is all wrong, but I've laughed at about birds flying south in the winter and north in the summer, to they migrate. And I think I wrote it all wrong when I wrote the poem first, and then I tried to fix it, and I think it's still wrong. And I've settled. if if it doesn't make sense, if the poetic flow is off, I don't care. It's the first few lines. It's staying that way. I have the reverse option here where it actually is correct because love holds the key and happiness is in the room. So you need the key to get in the room. So it actually does make sense, but my paranoid brain always thinks it doesn't when I get there. So there's that. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 poems left. And I'm going to have to listen up for my mom's car because there ain't no way it's happening before she gets here. But here we are. If you've made it this far, as per usual, thanks for stopping by.